introduce yourselves, and I'll point to who first. Then we're going to go around and have everybody else introduce themselves. Then there's the test. Right here.
Jeff Mingus. Hi, how are you?
Vanessa.
Hi, my name is Vanessa. I was supposed to take the roughing course 2 weeks ago, and I'm super sick, but I talked to Mike and said I should come and join your guys' meeting, so here I am. And I'm Megan, and I took the class as well, and I'm here, and I also play rugby here as well. So I was just looking.
What do you play for?
I play for the Glendale Raptors.
Okay.
We just won the San Diego Champion Classic 2 days ago. Just saying.
And Andrew, since you're still kind of really new.
Jamie Burke, the camera woman.
So anybody else new?
You can introduce your beard.
This is my,
I'm going to call that a beard, Bob.
that'll be nice. Other than that, it's nice to have everybody that's new here. Thanks for coming. We look forward to getting you out and doing some matches, and we'll have a good time. What's the second one on this today?
Aren't you guys going to introduce yourselves?
Oh, hell no.
No, you? No?
If you want us to. I'm Tom Coburn, I'm currently the chair of the Rugby referees.
Jim Bramley.
Stand up. Mark?
I'm Mark Hoskin.
Other Mark?
Mark Huff.
I'm not 18 in this room. I'm Mark Nelson, I'm the vice chair of Rocky Mountain Rugby referees. Remember? And I'm also the Western Zone Manager for referee development in Western Mississippi for USA Rugby.
Okay. Mark Huff. My job is to hump the gear up for every meeting. So for the new people, we may have some old stuff, older food gear for you. Kind of depends on size. So see me afterwards.
Anthony Wynn, I'm a transfer from Northern California.
I'm Steve Gore. I'm the treasurer of Rumors.
Eric Summers.
Roger. You sent out the monthly quiz.
He's the one who cursed at least one side of the month.
Joe Zevin, educator and rumor. I started with rumors. I'm subject of a few rumors.
I'm Nick. What's your last name? Yeah. Carabel. We need a sandwich.
And he didn't bring enough for all of us.
No. Cody, you're getting white too, so go.
Rick Lemmer.
Who's running the camera?
Jamie.
Selfie.
Bob Lesnansky. I'm a educator, treasurer of Rocky Mountain Rugby.
Old guy.
Gary Hartzell, I'm also an educator and get a bunch of other fun stuff on the side for this.
Chris Brewer, male prostitute.
Great.
Out of work.
Currently out of floor.
Thank you, Tom. I did okay in Vegas.
Greg Wolf.
Dan Hatchett, better known as Gilligan, the RDO, ER, and water coaches.
What's an RDO?
Draft development officer.
Jim Russell, performance reviewer, evaluator.
Stu Geiger, 50% of the match secretary.
Jim Bruce.
Ryan Haggerty. Ray Hernandez, the other 50% of said match secretary. Brighton Kamado.
Quiz.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Okay, treasurer's report. So special thanks to Ryan Haggerty for helping us to get a lot of outstanding invoices paid from the clubs. We're down to a small few that have not paid, and looks like they're going to pay, so hopefully we will not have to withhold referees from any matches. So thank you, Ryan. Okay, for you guys, a couple of things. First of all, match reports. As always, it's critical for you guys to fill those out after your matches. I think within 48 hours is what we're asking for. That's how we build the clubs and get you and your ARs paid. If you are doing a D1A match or a PRP match with an out-of-town ref, you need to fill out a match report so that you guys get paid as ARs. Questions on that?
So Steve, what about Rugby Colorado matches?
Great news! So, last season, if you did a Rugby Colorado match, you needed to fill out a match report on Rugby Colorado's Sport Engine site and fill out one on our site. This year, Rugby Colorado will be using our match report form. So you only need to fill out one match report that goes to Rugby Colorado. Thanks to Greg Wolf, who will be harassing people who are not filling out their match reports. Greg, anyone to harass tonight?
You know what, it's gonna have to be self-harassed, because I couldn't print the past schedule.
Okay.
So the schedule that I get looks from today forward,
Cool.
but I have a list of people who have filled out the match report.
Okay, let's give the people who filled out a match report a hand. Greg, let's talk about that.
People admit to not throwing their match report out yet.
That'd be a shame, though. What if your games get canceled?
Games get canceled, you
Stupid question. Assuming the game is canceled, snow, that type of stuff, no match report required. Correct,
The old
Unless you're like Brian Haggerty and just drives out to check it out to make sure it's not going to work. And then he fills out his thing and then wants to pay.
Did they notify you?
Okay, so two other things. As part, sorry.
You know the bill for that.
Yes.
We already talked about that.
We got it. Part of our taxes and 1099s, I need to get social security numbers from you.
Because you look trustworthy. And birthdays and full names.
So, I have W-9 forms that you can fill out now if you'd like. You can come and just see me and I can put your information right into the system. Or when you first have a check for me, I will ask you to get it to me some other way. So up to you if you want to fill one of these out right now. And then the last piece is I have a couple codes of conduct. So we agreed on these at the AGM. We had them at last meeting for people to fill out. If you haven't filled one out, come find me and fill out a code of conduct. You are welcome to participate in the collaborative code of conduct process next year. Any questions? Any other questions? All right.
Do you have a list of
Yes, somewhere. What do you need?
And the code of conduct, until we have that, we hopefully won't be assigned to matches. Okay, match secretary. Which half's going to speak first?
I'll do it. So far this season, 192 games have been scheduled. That doesn't include tournaments. Okay. Of those, we've assigned 40% of them, which is 75. 35% of the assigned matches have coaches. 25% of the matches have teams of 3. Everything's been posted through 3/14. We'll be posting the next week pretty soon. We've already got a draft of those. So keep an eye out for that. We've had a lot of stuff been moving around the last few days. Usually it's happening because weather is forcing stuff to happen. Stuff gets canceled. So if you're really unhappy about some reassignment, feel free to talk to us. Just give us the benefit of the doubt. We're not out to get you or anything like that. Also, festivals start next Monday. That's March 9th. So we're posting that on the date. We put a column for it on the availability. We're not assigning anyone to those matches. It's unpaid. It's entirely a volunteer event. Jim, you can tell us more about it in a second. But yeah, but it's entirely self-organized. Whoever shows up will figure out what's going on there. If you're new to refereeing, it's a really, really good place to practice. So what we're trying to do for the people who want to participate is, if on that Monday you put an F on availability, you're kind of saying, I'm promising that I'm going to be there. So that you guys can self-coordinate, so that there's about 5 to 10 people there.
Self-coordination only goes so far. Jim Bruce graciously volunteers to be the referee liaison at the festival, so he'll be there to help organize things. If you're planning on going to one, let Jim know.
That'd be helpful, and if we're sure, I may be calling you to confirm you're going to be there. But it would be really nice if you could drop me an email and let me know that you're planning to be there on Monday.
What's the date? The night?
There's Mondays for...
There's 5 of them.
Okay.
They're on the schedule, which is up there on the website.
And if any of the people that just took the lot, I mean, number one, or Anthony, if you guys are going to that, if you get the yes on there early enough, you can try to get one of the senior guys to come out and help show you the way.
A few other things for those of you, the USA Rugby National Championships. There's 2 of them going to be here in Denver. May 23rd and 24th is the USA College Sevens National Championship. We need to supply assistant referees and end-goal judges and number 4s. The call's already gone out. If you haven't gotten on to the availability site and marked yourself as a yes, and you're available that week, please go on and do that ASAP, because we do need to get back to USA Rugby on that, so we can get the jerseys and all that stuff figured out. The other event is the USA Club Championships, June 13th and 14th. There's a smaller crew needed for that one, but nonetheless, if you're available, make sure you get on there sooner rather than later so we can make some decisions there. And then June 20th and 21st, Rocky Mountain Challenge. That's up on the schedule. I'm going to be around for that, but make plans. And then the following weekend, I believe, is the 27th, the Denver Sevens. Both of those events, we need pretty much all hands on deck. So if you're looking for rugby, some good rugby. Shot.
Ooh. Oh. Crush chat.
You'll be drinking.
Dude, Jamie, you want to give a pass?
I think I can handle it.
Please get on the website and just make plans for that. So, anything else, Ray? No, that's it. Got it.
The sevens in May, there are 48 teams coming?
Yeah, so USA Rugby is applying for 26 match official, support match officials. So if you are one of those 26, you will get your lovely $25 stipend only per day, and your national championship, your collector's item national championship jersey for 2015. And you, if you need a hotel room, they will provide you a hotel room as well.
And near as we can guess,
You won't make rumor money, you will make USA money.
if everybody in this room were to show up, we have just enough people. That's how many we need. Okay? Mr. Hatcher, we're stepping off the agenda. He's got an outro. As already has a couple of things he wants to say.
I have not done the assignments because as I looked through and said, here's all these people who want to have a coach or a mentor or something, and I realized I have no idea what most of you folks are actually trying to work on and trying to get done. I will be sending out an email with a few simple questions, namely, what are your strengths as a referee? What are your weaknesses as a referee? And what are you trying to work on over the season? So that I can start trying to line you up with folks. If you're brand new to it and you have no idea, that's absolutely fine. I have people in mind who can help you build and identify what that should be. So you'll be getting an email out on that. The other thing about it, if you had signed up to be a coach, obviously the CMO one didn't go off because we only had 3 people who actually signed up, even though I had a list of about 15 who said they wanted to do it. As a result of that, I need to know what is your coaching, teaching experience if you want to help be a coach. That includes all the senior referees, so I will need you to help fill that out and send it over to me. Any questions on those two things? Sir?
What quantifies a senior referee?
You're a senior
Over
referee.
50.
The other thing about that, any other questions on that part? The other thing, the role of the coach, a lot of folks said, hey, I want somebody who will be there for my games. When we're assigning like the season-long coach, which is more of a mentor, that's not their role, to be perfectly honest, and especially the folks who are like C2 moving to C1. You have somebody who's a little more senior who's probably going to be, in many cases, refereeing that weekend. The role of the mentor is to help you understand what you are doing on an ongoing basis. They aren't there to write a development plan for you. They aren't there to watch every one of your games and say, go work on this next weekend. They're there to help you with the process of self-awareness and self-understanding and, in Maslow terms, self-actualization. So you start figuring out, I know, I use words like that. And so the thing that you're going to be able to do is, what are my weaknesses? What did I work on today? Was I able to do it? And then you have performance review, or you have a coach on the day who can take that list of the things that you're working on and say, yeah, you did do that, or let's talk about this thing, do you think you did it? Because then that gets to the awareness piece of, are you doing it right, or as Steve likes to put into his, Gore likes to put into his, I need to suck less, and that is the goal for the game. Or don't suck as much. So that's what that role of that mentor is. It's not to be at every one of your games.
You can work up to that.
So, the other one isn't fit for internet consumption. So there we go. Thanks, everybody.
Mark?
So I'm going to go over a couple things. Everyone's seen our Google Doc? Yeah, everyone knows what that is. There's a lot of information on there. Your availability, which is really important. Your contact list, which is next to being important. If you guys are out there talking to new referees, this is where you come and kind of put their name down, get their email. We'll get them up for the next class. Here's some helpful links. Just lots of stuff to go to. Lots to benefit your knowledge. Here's our fitness scores. Club contacts, we all made an agreement in February that when we get contacted by clubs, we're going to put some information here. I see that I'm the only one that has information in there, so let's get on that and help each other out. This is just like when the team contacts you, it was Tom Coburn, this is his email, this is where his thing is, this is the coach, okay? Here's some stuff for Gilligan to play with, and then here's our kit reimbursement plan. So, basically, let's show off the new kit. These are our new flags. They are drumsticks right now. They are drumsticks, whatever. They're $15 instead of $45, which they used to be. So if you have a problem, just sew a little thing right there, and they won't fly off the stand on it. Right?
They fit great on the old sticks.
They fit right on the old sticks if you wanted other crafts, but these are on our store. Again, we can still wear the old kit. There's no pressure to have you guys buy a new kit. It's fine. We're just we're supplementing your kit. These are our new lovely BLK shorts. They have zipper pockets. That's a little suede. Give yourself a little pat on the back when you feel good.
What size are those?
These are large, so they're running a little big. Yeah. All right. So pass that around and you can take a look at it. Sure. These are our jerseys. These run 9 big. This is a large. The pink is the opposite, obviously. The pink and blue, and it is pink. Yeah. And socks. You all know what socks are. So basically, how do I get this stuff? Well, we ordered 35 jerseys of total and 35 shorts and socks. So it's kind of like a first come, first serve. All the established referees, we agreed upon that you get either a jersey or a pair of shorts and socks for your kind of last year's stipend kit. So go and buy it, and then submit your receipt to Steve and your Social Security number, and he'll reimburse you. We won't reimburse you for shipping. And again, like we're not here to give you free kit. We are here to subsidize your kit. So if you're a new referee and you come, we have a plan here. Basically, kind of a credit earns you like doing something earns your credit. Like buy a referee in an 80-minute match, that's a credit. Buy AR for someone, that's a credit. If you know, that kind of thing. So basically, after your first game, you get a jersey. These are we'll change these. We lower the price of all our kit too, about $5. So basically, after your first game, you can go order a jersey. You pay for it, submit a receipt to Steve, he'll reimburse you back, and then 2 days later, your jersey shows up. After your third game, you get another $50. So maybe you get a pair of shorts or whatever, touch flies, whatever you need. After your fifth game, you get another $50. So basically, after 5 games, you get $160. So you get like jerseys, shorts, flags, whatever you need. You want to save it up for a tracksuit because Rick gave you jerseys? That's fine. There you go. And then every season after that, if you're an active referee, you basically get $50 a year. $50 a season. So that's about $100 a year for us guys. Now, again, it's first come, first serve. When the jerseys run out, we'll order more, but they're made in China, and they come on a boat, and it's Chinese New Year. So it may be a little longer, but we'll replenish the stock.
And the dock workers are
Yeah,
I'm sure of it.
no, they're back working.
From China.
So that's our kit. There's all kinds of stuff up there. There's still one extra large tracksuit for Canterbury. So I don't know if we want to be nice and buy that for someone, or no. Really? Really?
Isn't there a bottom too?
There's one large bottom that we're just going to have to. Who needs a tracksuit bottom large?
Who just ordered the top?
Who ordered the top, but not the top? Who's a top and not a bottom?
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
So, just one other thing on kit. If you want, we have discount codes. We have discount codes for RA Rugby, so if you don't want to pay yourself and then submit a receipt for me and then wait however long for me to pay you, email me and I can give you the code and you just enter it in and it takes the value off of your order and makes it easier for everybody.
Did we adjust them for the things?
Sorry?
Did we adjust them? I thought we only did them for 50.
So we did them for 50 and 165. So they work really well for if you're a new ref and have done a couple games, or if you're a seasoned ref and want your season stipend.
Okay.
So
basically, if you're going to get a new jersey, which is 60, you can pay $10, get the discount code, and then have Steve pay you $10.
Exactly.
And the credit then roll over the next year.
No, so this last fall, if you're after last fall, it's kind of like a kit catch up, and let's get the new stuff out there and show it off. So people are like, hey, where'd you get that? I want to get one. And you go here and you go get it. So it's kind of like a, yeah. So, but that's only a one-off thing. Other than that, like, no, like you can't referee for 3 years and get, I have $2,000 worth of credit, Gary Hartzell.
What?
Any questions?
Any questions on that?
Starting next meeting, Jim Bruce, the representative from Rugby, Colorado, will be interjecting his thoughts on our performances, etc. during the meeting. We'll also be asking questions. Now, without further delay, I think it's Derek's turn to teach us.
So this is the contest in the air. I think anybody in here would have been yes to see that. Originally, what was it?
It was awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Darren.
What we do at Irish?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so main priorities in this is safety. We want to allow contests in the air, kicking is becoming part of the game, you know, tactical kicking, whatever. But safety is the paramount. So we want to protect players in the air, make it safe. It's a similar thing that we've hashed out as referees in the last few years over tip tackles and other dangerous plays. So safety is the main protocol. Legal contests. Chasing players' timing is sufficient. So timing is the main main factor in this. And I mean, I'm not going to read it all out to you guys, but they have to have a clear opportunity to catch the ball or to contest with the ball. So if it's a late jumper, early jumper, something like that, players with no opportunity to actually play the ball or contest with the ball, that's what you want to penalize on. You don't want to hammer down on players who are making legitimate attempts to play the ball. Illegal contests, like I said, timing is not sufficient. No clear opportunity to contest with the ball. So we're looking at the ball, or looking at players who make contact in the air, or chasing, as it says on the bottom, looking at the ball does not make this action legal. So, I mean, you hear it all the time, players are looking up at the ball, they run into somebody. That's not good enough for us. So there's three kind of tiers that we're going to look at for sanctioning contests in the air. These are all like how you would penalize. So we'll have a penalty kick, obviously. Receiver's feet make contact with the ground first. Penalty kick and yellow card. If the receiver lands on his lower back or side. And then, just like with tip tackles, penalty and red card. Has an upper back, head, or neck area. Very dangerous, something we have to get out of the game, and just pretty clear, cut and dry.
Hey, Derek, what about if they put their hands out and that's what braces them? Or their arms out and that's what braces them?
I think if it braces them and they fall to the ground safely, then you judge that. So, again, these are not. This is the problem with the first presentation. It was set with these like straight parameters. These are your tools. This is like I said, these are your tools. It's the same thing you would look to deal with a tip tackle for a yellow card or a red card.
The rule.
So in that situation, the tip tackle, the player braces his hand. If his hand hits the ground first and he braces himself, you're going to judge that as well. So.
And that was kind of fun. We
That's
actually,
on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, and if you guys had it, it came down from World Rugby now. The arms don't matter. If they were going to land on their head, they put their hands down, and it turns it into a somersault or a roll, no problem at all. Probably want to manage it, probably want to talk to the person, but if the arms move it, it's exactly what these three say right here. If they're on the lower back of their side, even if it's the action of that player to get them there, that's fine.
Yeah.
The tackler got lucky.
So
Thanks, Jared.
we're going to watch a little clip here. This is So again, looking at the factors, is he contesting, is his timing right, is he actually playing the ball, and then if it's illegal or if you feel like the timing is incorrect and he is not playing the ball correctly, he's playing the man or his jump was late or whatever, how does the player fall and what is the end result? So these are the things to look at. This begins with like a series of play-ons, and then we get into penalties, then we get into penalty yellow cards, and then there's a few penalty yellow cards. Two players contesting for the ball. They both have a shot at it. It's a bit reckless, so we'll play on. Again, same thing. There is no. I think the point of this is like there is no specific rights. Like the catcher doesn't have like legal rights to not touch. Like you can't touch me. It's not that. It's not saying hands off the catcher or anything like that. it's saying, is there a contest for the ball? So there is contact, but it's a contest. Yeah.
Some I'm not clear on. Ball bounces, you get a big old high bounce, players jump for it. Is that same or?
Same situation.
Okay, same, okay.
He's contact in the air, lands on his feet, they're still playing, so nothing to know.
Chasing, together with guys at Volvo. They'll cheat it up. Lucas to chase. Son calling it as
So that's a perfect example of poor timing. His timing is late, he's not jumping for the ball. Well late on his jump, right in the play.
He was hitting him, not going to the ball.
Again, same thing, poor timing. Close there, very, very close to landing on his side, possibly head. He does, his head hits the ground, but is that the first time it hits the ground? Close. Right there, that's probably similar to what you would see in like a line out. He's not really playing the ball, he's just grabbing Richie McCaw. He's attempting to go for the ball, he doesn't get it, so what does he do? He swipes it in the air. Same thing, he's being lifted, so it is a contest in the air. And we won't penalize that. Don't get carried away or anything like that. In this clip, if you saw it during this game, I showed a replay of it, he hit him in the face. Let's not get carried away on it. He lands on his feet, but we do want to penalize that. No attempt to play the ball, late jump. Same thing.
The one before?
Late to play the ball, and late to jump.
Yeah. The one before, why isn't that a yellow card? Because he landed on his back.
I can't rely on it.
Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah.
Feet in the ground. Not even close to getting a chance to win that ball. I think this is a perfect example of what we're talking about, is just looking at the ball is not good enough. So if you look at the Highlanders player who's contesting against the Bulls player coming in here. It might seem a bit tough, but the end result is fairly dangerous.
Looking to get back upfield, the Springboks. Chased up half penny. Slow down.
So hurt himself in the surgery. So he has 10 minutes to heal.
Again, he's 14, carbohydrates, looking at the ball, not looking at his surroundings, and runs right into the lead athlete, who lands on his side. And he actually hurts himself in the process, in the 14. It's the opening kickoff. Pretty clear.
Good.
Yeah.
That's also, that sort of stuff, when we pass over T-Cal, can be a real flashpoint. So recognize it and hit your whistle hard so that everybody on the field knows that you've got this covered.
So, alright, referee the contest. Judge the contest and the timing. If the contest is legal and there is contact, play on. So both, we just have a note here, both players must be legitimately contesting for the ball. And the timing of the contest must be accurate. Both players must be competing for the ball and able to win possession. If there is contact, the contest is legal, play on. If the contest is illegal, judge the outcome of the fall and make your decision. So we have your 3 parameters, and then you go from there. Have any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was one incident where it was a penalty kick. It wasn't the yellow card variety.
I mean,
But
yeah, I don't know, I did not judge these clips, but
no,
yeah, there were a few of them that were like, you're talking about the one where you may have landed on
Let me
his
ask
side.
you a question.
Yeah.
So
So,
no, but I'm not getting that. But you get the ball popped out to an arriving player, and they made good progress up the field. Would that be an advantage situation?
I mean, there's nothing that says you can't play advantage about that.
That situation is a matter
It's
of
like,
the tenor of the game. If everybody's playing, everybody's happy and you play on, still can come back to the yellow card or the red card.
So you play it, you stick your arm
If
out.
the game is well under control, yes. If it's on the borderline,
Right.
don't do it.
So I think in high school.
That struck me.
High school, you don't want to do
High
that.
school, you don't want to do it.
You just flat call the penalty right away. It's safety in those lower levels.
sorry, Greg.
That's right.
Other questions on this?
It's went a lot better than this.
You guys are an accident.
Does anyone want to speak Irish and just be like, oh, this is wrong? Yeah. So yeah, you can't play advantage. Anybody else? No? Pretty clear. I mean, this is what they want. This is what they want to hear. These are your factors to look at. Every clip is going to be different. Every outcome is probably going to be different. You're not always going to get it right, but these are just your 3 little tiers to look at.
And when in doubt, err on the side of safety.
It's one of those hits where you're not really sure, and it's like, oh, and then guys laying on the ground. Maybe something to factor in, especially in high school. Yeah, what we talked about, especially with high school and safety.
I have a question. At the sevens tournament, I noticed a couple teams, especially on kickoffs, right, they would lift the receiver when they're receiving the kickoff, kind of hold him up there, and then they would almost like throw him at the players that were arriving.
Scotland was doing that.
Thoughts on that?
Don't get lifted in sevens.
That reading, because Scotland was doing that, and I'll talk to Ross and see how.
I mean, that was a set play.
Yeah, it was very clear that they were kind of throwing this person forward.
Isn't it?
I think we're supposed to let it down.
In a line out.
Bring it down.
In a lineup, no, you have to be brought down safely, right?
And that boost at a kickoff, yeah. The lifters are responsible for getting that man in the air back to the ground.
Yeah.
Hurling him at the opposition to try and drop him.
It was effective, wasn't it? They drew penalties several times, and they get thrown into an opponent. A lot of times it's play on, but several times I agree, it should have been a penalty of the team not bringing it down safely, but it sure wasn't, it was effective.
Has anybody ever seen any player penalized
to not bring his own player to the ground, line out or kick off. Yeah. Jim, I have.
Drop them through it Wednesday.
I'm doing it Wednesday. I figure that's their own problem, but it isn't a lot. Yeah, go on.
I just wondered if it ever been done.
Jim, Rick's gonna do it on Wednesday.
I got you. I'll find something.
Jim, can you be out there?
I've already written that. I'll find something.
Now, on another note, Mr. Summers this weekend penalized somebody for something I've never seen done before that was totally appropriate. Guys ahead of the kicker, quick throw, took the guy and his kick as a penalty for being outside.
That's funny. I just had a discussion, and I defended you, Derek, by the way. But I was at one of the captains of the Barbo's house for a business deal, and he just went on and on about that penalty that put them ahead in the game, and he described it. I said, well, it sounds like you got it right to me, because if he was in the wrong spot because he was offsides at the time the ball went out of bounds, then he's still offside. So anyway, I think
Sorry, Jim and I were still talking about it Saturday night. So.
well, I think
The only thing we were talking about was just if there's a scrum up option.
Correct.
We couldn't come to it. We weren't really sure.
Sure. What was it, 10-meter violation?
No,
It was general.
advancing under the
I
cap.
mean, they're gonna take the kick anyway.
Is this our fault?
Yeah, but for a quick throw. Never called it a game.
What were the options then?
Kick or scrum up, but this is for offside after a quick throw, so.
Wait, offside at the kick and the quick, so the quick.
And he was able to narrow down the offside.
No, an offside player actually tackled the guy when he threw the ball.
So there's a kick. Well, let me just describe the situation. There's a clearance kick inside the 22. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
There are players in front of the kicker who are advancing. They were not put on side. The quick throw happens. They were never put on side. They are still offside. And we're not on a consensus that there's a scrum up option.
Don't argue about that, man.
I think there probably was a scrum up option.
Your AR called it into you.
My AR couldn't give me the spot of the penalty, but
No, your AR couldn't understand the question because you refused to move the microphone from outside to outside your jersey, which he asked for at the beginning of the game because he knew they saw it.
anyway, so
Oh, guys,
You're being high maintenance again.
getting off track here. So we have a quick thing to go over on our law stuff, just to touch on the quiz. Pretty good results, like kind of, or I don't say mixed bag. It was a little difficult quiz. The average was 61%.
Yeah, but two
No,
people got
65%. That's not the lowest average we had. December was the hardest quiz so far. Two of the more difficult questions we had was number 2, player returns the ball to a ruck. That is a free kick, not a penalty kick. And then the other one was number 14.
just go through all of them real quick.
Blow it up.
All the questions have the law description, so we don't need to go through it all. Number 14, attacking team is awarded a free kick. The kick is taken quickly, and after 2 passes, number 12 drop kicks the ball through the goalpost from near the 10-meter line. The ball goes through the goal without being touched. How can play be restarted? This is a World Rugby clarification. It was actually on our homepage. So if you had read the post that was under this, you may have gotten this correct. So you just treat it as a regular open field kick. The ball is similar to a punt that goes through the in-goal. You have the option of the scrum at the place of the kick or a drop out. These two answer questions are a bit tricky. Just keep that in mind when you're taking these quizzes. We try to put that in the direction. Just be aware. A lot of these have two answers. So we haven't written the new one that will come out soon. So I just want to cover, these are 5 short clips. One was from the game over the weekend. This is just a law thing. Let's not get into semantics or anything like that and start debating stuff about the rest of the game. These are just clips about law. So we have a mark in goal. Two things. Where is the place for a mark that's called in goal? 5 meters out. Where is the offside line for the other team at that mark? So it'd be 10 meters from the place of the kick, which would be 5 meters out. So the team with the ball, in this case Ireland, would be standing on 15-meter line for a mark that was taken, should be taken at the 5 meter. Tells me he has to kick it out. Alex Good is wondering why, because he caught it at an end goal. He's asking if he can take the tap kick, touch it down, and take the 22. So he has him take the kick, which is incorrect.
Referee just clarifying that the mark was called.
Everybody happy with that? So the mark that is called in the ordered in goal, the place for the kick is on the 5 meter line.
I don't think so.
No, that's
No,
true.
it just changed.
It can be.
It recently
It's
changed.
in goal.
It used, no, 18.2, read it. I
That's been
just
a test question.
18.2.
That's been a test question for a long time. So,
It used to be.
the offside line for the other team is 10 meters from that mark, so they would be 15 meters from the end goal. He can walk back and take more space and take it in the end goal. The mark is on the file. Because, like I said, you ask him, he's wondering, can I just tap it and touch it down and take a 22 drop? No, you have to take it inside.
What is it, 5 minutes?
Well, you can, but it isn't gonna be a 22 drop if you do.
That would get
5 meter scrum. The other team.
Yes.
Okay, so
And Jamie can sit in it.
this is a series of 4 clips from Super Rugby 2 weeks ago. 4 things, you may have seen this on SA Referees, it's called Getting It Wrong. That's what the article's called. So, here we go. Just play this all the way. Charge down, we have a knock on. Knock on and goal.
So what is that called?
Who put it in goal?
White. Knock on in goal, so guess what? It's a 22. It's a 22 drop.
So in this situation, you play the knock on.
No, they had it on a Super League 15 game the other day and they reversed it back out to a 22 dropout.
That's why this is called Getting It Wrong.
So they think about a 5 minute scrum, he decides we're going to have 22 meter dropout.
Steve Walsh.
Which is
He is an Australian referee.
Go with your instinct.
So Derek, that should have been a, for everyone who's asking. What is the correct answer?
Definition is clear. Goes forward and
Guys, listen up.
pull 1C, play the knock on. Everybody clear on that?
What's that?
Cool. You would play the knock on, we would restart with a 5 meter scrum.
Yes.
That used to be a law or something, like an old law? No? I heard that when I first started, people said like, 22. Never been at 22 last year. Restart the end goal.
Went in goal without being touched, and then he downed immediately.
Down immediately. Key, that's the key word. Down immediately.
Is this the same game, same thing?
This is the same game.
He's having a bad day.
2 liars.
It's the beard, I tell you, it's the beard.
Alright. So, ball goes into a goal. We'll have the definition here. 3 choices. Make the ball dead, ground the ball, play on. Opposing team grounds the ball, if they make it dead, or if the play becomes dead by going touch and goal, with 2 choices. Scrums form center, and they throw the ball, team kick off again.
That's all.
If they opt to ground the ball or make it dead, they must do so without delay. Any other action means they've played on. So if, in that situation, if Curly Beal picked the ball up, thought about running or passed it to somebody, then downed it, then we would have a 22 drop. It looks pretty immediate to me, because when he touches the ball, the whistle is gone. So if we're clear on that, that's just knowing the definition of immediate, without delay. So if that comes up in your situation on the field, as it says, it's a scrum up or a kickoff again. Clear on that? No?
Yeah, but our situations won't work with that team.
Okay.
He doesn't do it.
Third
Quick's
one.
playing on.
If he's played on, then it would be a 22.
Yeah.
So this is about the mark for a penalty. So I'll just pause it here. Kick occurs here. Ball lands somewhere in here. Is next played by this player in this area. Okay? So just picture in your mind, where should the penalty be taken? Right now. Okay? I'll play this through.
I give it the most advantageous.
Can we assume that that's where he kicked it from?
Sort of self-working, about 1 step in front of that.
We're a good AR, we really help out your referee by knowing.
Sorry, it's a long. Okay, so kick was here, like we said, kick back here somewhere, landed here, was played somewhere in this area, and the kick was taken here. Yeah. So the late charging a kick, you have your 3 options. At the place where it lands, at the place of the infringement, or where it was next played. So like we had it there, we had our 3 options. At the kick, where it landed, and where it was next played. For some reason it was taken at the place where it landed, and it was inside the 15-meter line. So keep that in mind as well.
Actually, it's at the place he was infringed upon.
Right.
Which is a step or 2 password.
What are you talking about? Well, that was about the same area. I mean,
Well, sometimes it's 2 or 3 steps.
I don't know what he was judging, but yeah.
Sometimes it's 2 or 3
Right.
steps at which point it's where
like
the
a runner
infringement
or
takes
something.
place,
Yeah.
where it first lands, or where it's
Yeah.
next played.
So in this situation, I think that's what you're gonna ask, Joe, the more advantageous option, get back to
It's almost on the 10-meter line.
is on the other side of halfway.
Yeah.
So it's played here. He's inside the 15, so the mark for the kick would be in line where the ball was played on the 15-meter line.
That's what I was gonna ask, because
That's
all
the
the only
only-
to touch, is it still in 15?
If it landed inside the 15 and were played inside the 15, it must be
Bring it
out,
to the 15.
brought out.
Okay.
Derek, where it lands,
Not,
where it's
if
next
it
play.
lands inside the 15,
Okay.
what?
That's A through N. Late charging the kick is O. It's the only one that does not move 15 in. According to
I'm
2015,
reading the book right here.
it's the only,
At least 15 meters from the touch line.
They need to rewrite it, but right now it's the only one that does not get moved in 15.
Everyone's reading the same thing I'm reading.
On page 71.
5 meters from the goal line, place the infringement with at least 15 meters from the touch. Number 4.
Maybe you should. It has that exact same prohibition. Well, they just use that paragraph. See this right at the bottom where it says that all of those do not routine if they're wrong. So, but then that is just so.
There's the jersey sheet.
So the question you're going to ask is, was there a ruck? No ruck?
No rock, it's just tackle.
There's a cleaner, but it's not, I don't think that contact constitutes a ruck.
Hey, it's not over the ball.
No, it's
It's
not,
not a
no,
ruck.
it's not a rock.
So it's just tackle. 2 feet team on the ball.
Something to keep in mind. This is not the exact same thing that's going to happen to you, but if the situation happens where players are retiring, keep that in mind. Do we have a ruck, or is this just a tackle? If it's just a tackle, there's nothing to do here. So, those are 4 clips, or 5 clips from one of the best referees in the world. So, they make mistakes.
There's an excuse for that. Jared, what's the homepage on this?
This is sareferees.com.
sareferees.com. Get me wrong.
And then the last thing I'll talk about, just the clarification that came out. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Is this on the homepage already?
Yes.
Will it be?
Who has not read this clarification from last 20 years?
This applies to time, so if you watch the Scotland-Wales game, you'll have a good idea of why this was brought up like recently. Basically, this just covers time and penalty, and then involving conversion or kick to touch. So what the main thing you have to look at is if time is expiring and there's a try scored, if the conversion is kicked, meaning the ball leaves his foot, or they tell a referee no conversion before the 80 minutes, we will have a restart. Same thing applies to kicking for a lineout. So if they ask the referee how much time for a lineout, if it's like on your watch, 10 seconds, they kick the ball again, leaves the foot with 10 seconds to go, then you will award the lineout. So judging with the time and stuff like that, go off of what they do with the foot. You're seeing a lot of that in sevens where they're telling referees to no conversion. But yeah, those are your basic scenarios. And this is up for you guys to read in detail. So if everybody saw the Scotland-Wales game, there's about 10 seconds to go when he kicked, and then on the way back to the halfway line, time was blown and the game was over. So, yeah.
So what you're saying is it should have
been
restarted.
Correct. Well, this clarification came from that game, following the controversy. Yeah. Cool.
Any questions on that one, guys? So, we haven't had much rugby yet. Anything in anybody's matches that we have had, we have questions? Or issues? That's quick.
I have something to add. If it is snowing, we need to be really, because this happened last year a lot, we're wearing those tights, and those guys said, what did we wear last week?
No tights.
No tights.
Men cannot wear tights. Women can wear tights, single seam cotton polished leather, or cotton leather. Don't be that guy when you want to feel the seams. Don't be that guy.
Checking labels? No checking labels either.
Hey guys, there's a good document. It's on the USA Rugby Facebook page. It basically, see if I can find it. It documents what you can wear and what you can't. It has pictures of braces, pictures of cleats.
Well done.
Yeah. So
And if you can't find it there, it's also on the World Rugby site, for Regulation 12.
yeah, this is a picture of
It has all pictures too.
not like this.
What was Kurt's comment on it? If it says Gilbert, it's probably illegal.
No, it's legal.
What about AR?
It says Gilbert, Gilbert is a rugby manufacturer.
Oh, I thought he said, my mistake.
There was an interesting thing on there that I was surprised to see, and that was the two-piece cleats with the metal over the rubber.
Yeah, so
You can't do that.
the studs have to be all
The
one
same
piece.
material. So I thought that was new and different.
Can we clarify the boot thing, please? What is it now?
It has to be made of one material.
All metal.
It doesn't matter if it's a toe, nothing.
No,
Just has to be
if
one material.
it's a screw-in cleat with a toe, it has to be taken out.
Okay.
If it's molded, happy days. If it's offset, like the Adidas,
Yeah.
happy days.
Okay.
Gary?
Concussions and potential concussions. Still seeing players go leave the game, holding their heads. You know, sometimes even having a team trainer put back, have a look at them. I saw one a couple weeks ago. The coach just put the kid back in the game.
Guys, let's be safe. If somebody goes off the field like this, he stays off. The trainer is not a physician. He cannot put him back in. The coach is not a physician. He cannot put him back in. So, play safe.
As big a deal as they make concussions at the AGM that a couple of us went to, you know, keep them off.
Guys, it is a huge deal.
And that's at any level.
Yes.
If you think, if somebody's sleeping on the field because they've been knocked out and they want to come back in, don't let them. You're better off to say, you know, so coach, replace the player.
We're not,
You know, this is only a game.
yeah.
But it's ultimately our responsibility to make sure that a concussed player doesn't come on. And if a person is knocked out, you know they're concussed. And like Tom said, if they're up there staggering, you don't want them out there.
And we're not doing, there is no pitch side assessment at our level matches.
There is no pitch side assessment except at the IRB level,
Yeah,
correct?
Don't let some coach tell you we have.
Guys, it doesn't matter if it's high school girls or if it's Andre out here on the,
Yeah.
in the stadium. No. And guys, we've had a number of pretty bad incidents over the year. And
Well, we've had a couple deaths from concussions.
All right, so again,
it's not something you want to deal with.
USARugby.org, referee, and then referee resources. There's also a gold mine of knowledge, or of stuff you can learn. And here is that document.
You know, also on World Rugby, they have a whole bunch of tests for medical protocols and stuff like that, which are just basic. And as educators, we're all required to take them. You guys should take those too, just to keep yourself informed.
Just kidding.
So, again, it's kind of small, but no Nike branded side pad, whatever things, no harness, no football pads. Anything by basically a credible manufacturer, rugby supplier like Gilbert or Cougar or
Any other questions, concerns, worries, issues?
Added football shorts.
We made it on time tonight.
no tights, yeah, Under Armour Happy Days. I mean, this is a good one. anything with a plastic buckle or brace, I don't care how much padding's on it, I don't care what it's wrapped under, that's not allowed.
So can Chuck use his heat race?
No rollerblading things?
Hey, just real quick, we did have the L1 2 weeks ago, so we had 9 people in class. Heard it went pretty well. 4 of them already filled out their availability and have matches on the schedule. Kudos to match signatures. If you see a new person or you have an AR you don't recognize, talk to them, walk them through what you're doing.
I mean, you've led them to water. Gary?
On the discussion, it was on the Facebook group, it was suggested by Kurt and several others that it might be worthwhile to print out that document and take it with you, especially at the lower levels, the high schools, who are not real good about checking these. That way, when you say no, you've got something to back it up with, other than because I said.
Meeting adjourned.
Yes.